This video is all about the properties involving the determinant value, adjoint, and the inverse of a square matrix, and requires the viewer to have prior knowledge of multiplication of matrices and finding determinant values, adjoints, and inverses. The first result is, if A and B are any two square matrices of same order, then the determinant of their product equals the product of their determinants. It is a very simple result, but its proof involves things like rank of a matrix, elementary matrices, which are not yet covered in this video series. We will definitely be discussing them in the coming videos, but for now, we will just verify this result. So if we have two square matrices of second order, say A and B, then their product is AB equals -4, -7, -6, -7. Now determinant of A equals 10 plus 4, 14. Determinant of B equals -1 plus 6, 5. And determinant of AB equals 28 plus 42, 70, which is the product of 14 and 5. Thus the result is verified. Let us solve an example question. We have determinant of A as expanding along row 1, we get 1 into -1 plus 8, 7, -3 into 2 plus 4, 6, plus 0, which equals 25. Now using this result, we have determinant AB equals determinant A into determinant of B, that is 250 equals 25 into determinant B, which reduces to determinant B equals 10, which is the required value. The second property is determinant of Ka equals K to power n determinant of A, where A is any square matrix like of second order or third order, etc. N is the order of matrix A. For this matrix, n equals 2. For this matrix, n equals 3, and so on. K is a scalar. It may be real, it may be complex. It is very easy to conclude this result. Suppose we have this matrix A, then its determinant is this one. Now when we multiply a scalar K to matrix A, we get this matrix Ka equals, in which every element is multiplied by K times. This is how scalar multiple of a matrix is defined. Now when we change this matrix to determinant, we have a whole new set of rules and properties to follow. One of them is, in determinants, we can factor rows or columns independently. So factoring K from first row, second row, and third row each, we get K cube into determinant of A. Thus the result follows, and the same thing can be shown for any square matrix of order n. Let us use this property. Consider this simple problem. If A is a square matrix of order 3, such that determinant A equals 5, then find determinant of -2A. Now since A is of order 3, so n equals 3 and determinant of A is given as 5. Now from second result we have determinant of minus 2A equals minus 2 to power n determinant of A, which reduces to minus 40, which is the required value. The next result is the product of A and adjoint A in any order equals determinant A times the identity matrix. To see this result, we need to analyze the determinant value of a matrix. Consider a third order matrix, say this one. Then its determinant value is expanding along first row, we have A, B, C, cofactor of A equals positive Q, R, Y, Z. Cofactor of B is minus P, R, X, Z. And cofactor of C is positive P, Q, X, Y. So the first row and the cofactors of first row give us the determinant value. Similarly, second row with cofactors of second row and third row with cofactors of third row will also give us the determinant value. But what happens if we mismatch? That is, suppose we take first row A, B and C, and instead of their cofactors, let us take the cofactors of second row. Cofactor of P is negative B, C, Y, Z. Cofactor of Q is positive A, C, X, Z. And cofactor of R is negative A, B, X, Y. Now we can either evaluate this whole expression to see the result, or we can simply compare it with our first expression. In the first expression, A, B, C forms the first row. So in the second expression also, these will form the first row. In both these expressions, YZ, XZ and XY are at the same places, and these formed the third row. So the second expression will also have its third row as X, Y and Z. Further, we can see that QR, PR and PQ all come from second row, and in second expression we have A in place of P, B in place of Q and C in place of R. Finally, the sign scheme in second expression is totally opposite to the first expression. So we place a negative here, but it makes no difference as these two rows are identical. We have the result as 0. So the bottom line is nth row with cofactors of nth row will give us the determinant value. Any other mismatch will give us 0. Now let us find this product. We have A as this matrix, and let this be the adjoint matrix. Now recall that we form adjoint matrix by placing the cofactors of first row in the first column, cofactors of second row in second column, and cofactors of third row in third column. Now multiplying these matrices, we get first row into first column, that is cofactors of first row, we get determinant of A. Again, first row with second column, that is cofactors of second row, is a mismatch and thus 0. Similarly, first row with cofactors of third row is a mismatch, thus 0. Proceeding similarly, we get these values. Now factoring determinant A out of this matrix, we get the desired result. This result can be used in questions like now instead of actually forming the adjoint of A and then finding this product by multiplication, we can simply find the determinant of A as 3 into 20 plus 1 minus 1 into 5 minus 2, 3 minus 2 into minus 1 minus 8 minus 9, which equals 63 minus 3 plus 18, that is 78. And then we can use this result to find the desired product as 78 times identity. This result also gives us other important relations, one of which is the inverse of a matrix. Let A be any given square matrix, invertible, then its inverse is such that their product in any order is identity. Now, what is the role and status of inverse matrix? To know what inverse matrix mean, look closely at this equation. This is a scalar equation. 4, x, 9 are all scalars. Now to find x, we translate this 4 to the right hand side in the denominator. How did we move this 4 from numerator left to denominator right? We actually multiplied the inverse of 4 on both sides. And thus we got x. The same concept of inverse applies for matrices as well. Just like 4 and 4 inverse result in 1, similarly A and A inverse result in identity. Identity is like the 1 of matrices. Identity into any matrix B equals the same matrix B. Just like 1 into any scalar n is n. So inverse matrices help us to solve matrix equations such as Ax equals B, where A, x and B are all square matrices of same order. Suppose we want to find x, then we multiply A inverse on both sides. Note that this multiplication is called pre-multiplication on both sides, and this multiplication is called post-multiplication on both sides. We cannot pre-multiply on one side and post-multiply on the other side because matrix multiplication is not commutative. In this case, if we post-multiply A inverse on both sides, we get nothing because there is this x in between A and A inverse. So we pre-multiply. Now A and A inverse results in identity, and identity into x is x. So we have x equals A inverse B. Let us solve another equation. We have AYB equals C. Pre-multiplying A inverse on both sides, we get YB equals A inverse C. Post-multiplying B inverse on both sides, we get Y equals A inverse C B inverse. Now this is not some result that we memorize, but is a way in which we use inverse matrices. Still, for the sake of our list of relations, let us write if Ax equals B, then x equals A inverse B. So now that we have seen how inverse matrix works, let us derive the formula for it. From relation 3, we have A dot adjoint A equals determinant A into I. Pre-multiply A inverse on both sides. A inverse and A gives identity. Don't worry about determinant of A. It is not a matrix. It is a scalar, some number. So we can place it at first and multiply A inverse with identity to get A inverse. Now identity into adjoint A is adjoint A. Finally dividing both sides with the scalar determinant A, we get the required formula. Let us solve a question. So we have this equation. Pre-multiply the inverse of this matrix on both sides. This product reduces to identity and identity into A is A. Copy the right hand side. To find the inverse, consider this matrix. Its adjoint is, as already discussed, left diagonal element change, right diagonal sign change. The determinant value of this matrix is 1 minus 0, that is 1. So from the formula for inverse matrices, we have the inverse of this matrix as 1 by determinant value into adjoint matrix. Now using this, we have hopefully you can find this product by yourself. So we got the required answer. There is one more interesting relation involving the inverse of matrix that I would like to discuss. From the definition of inverse matrix, we have A inverse A equals identity. Since the matrices on both sides are equal, so their determinant values must also be equal. Now using our first relation, we have determinant of A inverse A as determinant of A inverse into determinant of A, and the determinant value of identity matrix is 1. So we have this result, determinant of A inverse equals 1 by determinant A. Let us verify this result. Consider the matrix A. Its determinant value is 6 plus 4, 10. Adjoint of A is left diagonal element change, right diagonal sign change. A inverse equals 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. Now that we have our inverse matrix, let us find its determinant value. From this second relation, we know that the determinant value of the product of a scalar and a matrix is scalar to power n into determinant of matrix. So in our case, the determinant value of this product is 1 by 10 to power 2 because A is of second order into the determinant of this matrix, that is 10. So we have determinant of A inverse as 1 by 10, and we can see that the determinant value of A inverse is reciprocal of the determinant value of A. Moving on to our next relation. From third relation, we have note that A is a matrix adjoint of A is a matrix, determinant of A is a scalar, and identity is a matrix. Now since this product matrix equals this product matrix, so the determinant value is also equal. Now from first relation, we have the left hand side as determinant A into determinant of adjoint A. And from second relation, we have the right hand side as determinant A to power n into determinant of identity. Now cancelling out these scalars, we get since determinant of identity is 1, so we have the result determinant of adjoint A equals determinant of A to power n minus 1. So for second order matrices, determinant of adjoint A equals determinant A to power 2 minus 1, that is 1. For third order matrices, determinant of adjoint A equals determinant A to power 3 minus 1, that is 2, and so on. Again from third relation, we have x into adjoint of x equals determinant x into identity. Putting x equals adjoint of A, we get pre-multiply A on both sides. In the left hand side, this product A into adjoint A gives determinant A into identity. And in the right hand side, the value of this expression is determinant A to power n minus 1. Now multiplying this matrix with identity, we get the same matrix. And A into identity is A. Cancelling out these scalars, we get this result. The last relation of this video is this one. Try proving this for yourself. If you have thoroughly understood all these previous results, then it is most likely that you will easily conclude this relation. And if you can't, then no worries, just let me know. I'm also attaching a homework set with this video. Go through it. In case of any doubt, call me or text me if you have my contact number. Otherwise, you can mail me at this address.